it's All Men Stories, and I'm here with David Campbell, and I want to be a cowboy. Is that the name of the song?
Yeah.
But you gotta get. That's me.
Yeah.
I want to be. Look at. See this? See this?
I see that.
Yeah, you know who did that? My sister did that. My sister Lois.
That's nice work.
She lives now in West Georgia. I send these shirts to her, and she does all the embroidery and sends it back.
Well, give me her address, and I might mail her a shirt or two.
Isn't that cool?
That's neat.
It's cool.
That's neat. Well, this song, I'd Like to Be a Cowboy, was written when I was an elementary school principal, a little school up in the Ozark Mountains. And we probably had 300 elementary students. It was pretty good size, K through 6. And you would think that we'd be pretty much isolated from the big problems, big cities, but people are people, and they move around so much, and they just kind of bring the problems with them. And you just deal with what comes. The school system's unique in the fact that you don't get to pick and choose who you deal with. They come through the door, you're mandated to help them.
That's right. There you are.
So one day a little kindergarten kid came up to me and said, Mr. Campbell, there's a 6th grader. He's trying to give dope to us kindergartners. And I thought, surely not. Probably some 6th graders teasing a kindergartner, and probably something like that. But I better check it out anyway. So he told me who the 6th grader was, and I went to the 6th grade class and saw the students sitting there, and I asked him to step out in the hall for me to talk to him. And when I did, he leaned against the wall and just slid down the wall. His eyes were glazed, and he was wearing a baseball cap. And as he slid down the wall, the baseball cap just came off of his head. And inside the sweatband of his baseball cap were a bunch of little yellow pills. There were 10 milligram volumes. And sure enough, I've been trying to give those to kindergartners. So I took him home, suspended him till the next board meeting. Took him home and told his mom and asked her to be at the next board meeting, and that we had 0 tolerance for that kind of thing. Could you imagine what would happen if that kid had taken some of those volumes? And so I went back to my office. It was near the end of the day. And I closed the door, and I just sat in my chair, and I was so disappointed and just frustrated and disgusted. And I thought, I don't want to be a school principal anymore. What I want to be. And I sat there with my door closed and kind of looking out the window and propped my feet up on the desk and just thought. And in my mind, I started seeing those little black and white cowboy shows that I saw when I was a kid. You know, the Lone Ranger and,
That's right.
and Tonto and Range Rider and Dick West, and Cisco and Poncho and all of those, Gene Autry and Roy Rogers, all the greats. And I could see in my mind the stagecoach coming across the prairie, and when it stopped at the way station, the outstation, before the stagecoach stopped, it always looked like the wheels would spin backwards on the stagecoach. And that always fascinated me. And so I thought, that's what I'd like to be. I'd like to be a cowboy. Because being a cowboy, I didn't see any of that kind of evil that had been pressed on kids. And I thought, boy, it'd just be nice just to be a cowboy. and I sat down, and the words just flew. They just came. I think songs are a gift from God. I think the words come to you in your mind, and they come out your fingertips and through the pen, and it's not always your thoughts or what you thought it was going to be, but somehow the story comes out, and I just got that picture of being a cowboy. I'd like to be a cowboy, riding on the range. I'd like to ride the prairie, have a Western name. I thought, what name would I like to have? Well, it was White Earp, Bill Hickok, Bat Masterson. So I just came up with a name like White Hickok Masterson. That'd be a good name. Rider of the Sage, White Hickok Masterson. I'd like to be a cowboy and live in Western days. I'd like to ride a stagecoach across the Texas plains, and sleep in an old line cabin and listen to the rain. I'd like to squint into the sun and smell the mountain pine. I'd like to be a cowboy and live among my kind, because I can still see those movies in my mind. But then I thought, but I'm stuck here in this job. I can't be a cowboy. I can't ever roam. The sky can't be my cover. The range can't be my home. But in my mind, I'll always ride beneath the western sky. And there I'll be a cowboy who will never, never die. I'd like to be a cowboy. It just flowed out like that.
It just moved you.
Yes. And since that day, I've come back to that song when things get real stressful, and I think, I'd like to be a cowboy. It may be too late for me to be a cowboy, but I can be a cow puncher. But that's the song.
That's right.
Yeah. That's the song. I'd like to be a cowboy.
Wow. Well, let's hear.